Karina asked a question. This question is primarily for John because he has young children. I'm looking for advice on how to talk to my 5-year-old son about race. Last year, he was the quote victim when a classmate made fun of his Asian features. He didn't seem convinced by my reassurances, but he got over it with time. Then recently, he told me that he doesn't like people with brown skin. I have no idea where this came from, and he wouldn't tell me. Of course, I explained that racism is wrong, but he didn't understand why I was upset and seemed frustrated that I wanted to keep talking about it. Do you have any advice? Can you recommend any books or resources with a good message? Amazon is full of woke books like Anti Racist Baby. I just want him to understand that prejudice is wrong. Tough question.
Um, yeah. Well, I think you would just want to pull the camera back and really just say, so what is it that brown people do that you don't like? I don't think that the answer to this is to think, oh no, he or she is racist and I'm going to address the racism because this is a very small child. You want to go with facts. Apparently, they're basing this on something, and they may be basing it on exactly two brown skinned people who they don't like for reasons that are individual to the two brown skinned people. And then you want to teach them not to generalize. But first, figure out why.
Yeah.
And if they say something like just because, then probe, because even a 5-year-old is intelligent enough to give a real reason. And it's probably something very trivial. And then just say, do you notice that not all brown people are like that? So it's not about not liking brown people. It's about not liking Jacob. It's about not liking Eliana. It's about not liking Raymond. It's not about brown people. And frankly, to even use the word racism, given what we mean by it and what we don't mean by it, I wouldn't go there, especially because young people already are beginning to internalize the word racist as just meaning bad. There's already this sloppy reasoning. I hate to admit I've seen it in my 11-year-old. She's internalizing it's racist to say this. It's racist to say that. And what she's internalizing is it's racist to even discuss that there are differences between groups of people in terms of physical appearance or maybe in terms of cultural predilections. It's racist. That's also unreflective, but she's already picked it up from just being in the world. I wouldn't want to start that with somebody 5. Don't use the word racism. Just ask,
Yeah.
why don't you like brown people? Is it because Abby did something you didn't like? Well, notice that Abby did that, but then Lester didn't, and neither did Joanna, and neither did whoever. I'm making up all these names. It's not brown people.
Yeah,
You
but
just
they're
don't
all
like
brown.
Abby.
The point is they're all brown.
Right.
I'm sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt. The
You're
point
right.
is they all look alike, but they're not
Right.
all the same.
Yeah, just tell them, but no anti-racist baby. Frankly, don't buy that stupid book, and don't use the word racism. That's not that they're too young for that, and it's going to get them started thinking in a religious way that isn't healthy for logical thinking in young people.
Yeah, I could boil that down to don't overreact, and just try to stay cool and talk straight to the
Logical.
kid, and
Hmm.
you know, I expect a parent is concerned that if their child is overheard to say such a thing, then the family will be hurt because the supposition will be that this is a racist sentiment that's reflecting what the parents say when no one is listening, and that the kid could be severely damaged. I mean, a 15-year-old, not a 5-year-old, who said something like that on Twitter could have their whole life ruined.
Yeah.
So it's perfectly legitimate to be concerned about this, but you know, and by all means, don't don't force Ibram X. Kendi on the kid as a remedy for this kind of